Shalom, family. My name is Najee. I'll be reading from the book of Proverbs and asking the Ruach, the Spirit, to help me interpret what I've read for you guys. I'll be reading from the scriptures, a version of the Bible trusted in the Hebraic community similar to the Sefer and the Hallelujah scriptures. This is my first video, so bear with me as I try to get through this, y'all willing. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, sovereign of Yisrael, king of Israel. Verse 2. For knowing wisdom and discipline, for understanding the words of understanding. Verse 3. For receiving the discipline of wisdom, righteousness, right ruling, and straightness. Verse 4. For giving insight to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Verse 5. The wise one hears and increases learning, and the understanding one gets wise counsel. Verse 6. For understanding a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and their riddles. Verse 7. The fear of Yahuwah Most High is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. Verse 8. My son, heed the discipline of your father, and do not forsake the Torah of your mother. Verse 9. For they are a fair wreath on your head and chains about your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not give in. Verse 11. If they say, come with us, let us lie and wait for blood. Let us ambush the innocent without cause. Verse 12. Let us swallow them alike. Let us swallow them alive, like Sheol, the grave, and entirely like those going down to the pit. Verse 13. Let us find all precious goods. Let us fill our houses with spoil. Verse 14. Cast in your lot among us. Let us all have one purse. Verse 15. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Keep your foot from their path. Verse 16. For their feet run to evil, and they hurry to shed blood. Verse 17. For in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. Verse 18. But they lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush their own lives. Verse 19. Such are the ways of everyone greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owners. Verse 20. Wisdom calls out loud outside. She raises her voice in the broad places. Verse 21. At the head of the noisy streets she cries out. At the opening of the gates. In the city she speaks her words. Verse 22. How long, you simple ones, would you love simplicity and show scoffers delight in their scoffing? And fools hate knowledge. Verse 23. Turn at my reproof. See, I pour out my spirit on you. I make my words known to you. Verse 24. Because I called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no one inclined. Verse 25. And you spurned all my counsel and would not yield to my reproof. Verse 26. Let me also laugh at your calamity. Mock when your dread comes. Verse 27. When your dread comes like a storm, and your calamity comes like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come upon you. Verse 28. Let them then call on me, but I answer not. Let them seek me, but not find me. Verse 29. Because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahuwah, the Most High. Verse 30. They did not accept my counsel. They despise all my reproof. Verse 31. Therefore, let them eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own counsel. Verse 32. For the turning away of the simple kills them, and the complacency of fools destroys them. Verse 33. But whoever listens to me dwells safely and is at ease from the dread of evil. That was a lot to chew on, and I'm gonna try to interpret what I've just read the best, I am able through the Ruach. Verse 2 says, "For knowing wisdom, these are the words." There in verse 1 is explaining that these are the Proverbs of Solomon, who was said to be the wisest who ever lived, and the son of King David, who was also wise. This is where a lot of his wisdom, it was taught to him by David, but also in majority it was blessed, and provided to him by the Most High. So these are like inspirational words, that was provided to him. These were inspirational wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that was given to him by the Most High, by the Creator, by through the Ruach, through the Spirit. So this is the knowledge and the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding relayed through King Solomon, given to him by the Most High. So these pretty much are inspired words inspired by the Most High. So is explaining how in verse 1, these are the words of Solomon, son of King David, sovereign of Yisrael, king of Israel. So in what these words in verse 2 and on, it's explaining what these words bring. It says in verse 2, for these words are for knowing wisdom and discipline. So with these words of Solomon, it'll help how to identify wisdom and how to discipline yourself, how to identify discipline, and how to discipline yourself and discipline others. These are words to instruct you, how to identify wisdom, how to obtain wisdom, how to what wisdom is, how to pretty much how to basically apply your wisdom and discipline for understanding, the words of understanding. So how to pretty much discern, how to interpret, how to understand, what it is that, is sensible, how to make sense of, things, how to make sense of, sensible, matters. Common sense is pretty much what these words will help you, obtain. Verse 3, for receiving the discipline of wisdom. Receiving the discipline, knowing how to, tell yourself no, how to say no to others, how to, pretty much have that ability to, you know, check yourself and, you know, keep yourself in check, or keep others, you know, who are who you come encounter with, you know, keep them at bay. It's also, it says righteousness. It says, for receiving the discipline of wisdom, righteousness, right ruling, and straightness. So not only are you receiving by reading and studying these words, you're receiving, not only are you receiving the discipline of wisdom, but also righteousness. You knowing what you'll be able to identify righteousness, how to identify what righteousness and right ruling is, and straightness, what, you know, what is straight, what is, you know, what is positive, what is legit, what is, you know, what is you know, what is pretty much, you know, the right way. Verse 4, for giving insight to the simple. So that you're you know, after reading and studying and hearing these words, you're, you know, and meditating on the words of, you know, pretty much the inspirational words of the Most High provided through Solomon, you're able to give insight to the simple, you know, to the simple-minded, to those, you know, who are not, you know, not clear on things, and clear on decisions, and clear on, you know, what they should be doing, or what, you know, what they shouldn't be doing. You know, you're able to give that insight to those, you know, to those individuals. You're able to give insight to those who need it, the simple-minded, the common person. You're able to give insight to the simple, and knowledge and discretion to the young. So for the young, you're able to, you know, provide knowledge and discretion to them. You give them knowledge. By hearing these words and studying these words of, you know, of Solomon, inspired by the Most High, you're able to give knowledge and discretion to the youth, your children, your nephews, your nieces, you know, your grandkids, you know what I mean? The children in your community, you know, any child, you're able to, you know, you're able to give them knowledge and discretion. Verse 5, the wise one, the wise one hears these words. The wise one hears and increases learning. So the wise one, when a wise one who's already, you know, have a level of, you know, wisdom, who've already obtained some level and some form of wisdom, they will identify these words. They will identify these words and hear these words and increase their learning. They'll increase their wisdom. They'll increase their understanding. You know what I mean? And so it says in verse 5, the wise one hears and increases learning, and the understanding one gets wise counsel. So this is counsel to the understanding one, the one who is reasonable, one who was already reasonable before they heard these words, the one who was already, you know, a reasonable person, and you know, someone that had a, you know, a clear mind and a clear understanding on things. You know, this will provide them counsel. You know what I mean? This will be counsel. These words will be counsel to them. Verse 6, for understanding a proverb and a figure. So pretty much this these words are help, you know, these words are helpful to understand proverbs, other proverbs outside of this book. You know, wise quotes and what, you know, smart, you know, what was said, you know, the smartest things from, you know, ever said from other people. You know, these will help you, you know, pretty much break those figures of speech down and understand what was said. Uh, Also, the words of the wise and their riddles. So verse 6 basically explain what else it'll help. It'll help. It's helpful for understanding a proverb and a figure, and the words of the wise and their riddles. So you're able to pretty much understand a riddle and decipher that, pretty much, decode what a riddle, any riddle that was, told to you, this is helpful. This is helpful for that area. This will help you understand it a little bit better, and it help you, and it'll be easier for you to decode it. Verse 7. The fear of Yahuwah, the fear of God, the fear of the Most High. This is key. The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge. So the fear of Yah, the fear of the Most High, which we will understand better later on in this book, is the beginning of knowledge. So the knowledge, if you want to obtain knowledge, you want to obtain supreme knowledge, this is where it starts, with the fear of God, the fear of the Most High, the fear of the Creator, the fear of the Almighty. So without that fear, you're not achieving that. You're not obtaining that supreme knowledge, and this is what the inspirational words of the Most High. It couldn't get any supreme than that. It says, so in verse 7, the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. So you ever hear anyone, say like, I don't want to hear that. I ain't, you might hear someone when you try to provide understanding, knowledge, and you hear things like you try, pretty much kick knowledge, and you try to share some, insight with somebody, share, some advice with somebody, some wisdom, some, some positivity of the right way to go about something, or what's wrong, or, what they're saying or what they're doing, and they just try to dismiss it. They try to, pretty much disregard what you're saying, and you shut it down, and change the subject, or what, that's a sign of a fool despising, wisdom, despising discipline, because it's not them despising you. They despising the wisdom. They despising they despising the discipline. They don't want to be disciplined. These are, they don't want to be wise. They want to be fools. They want to, they don't want to be called fools, but that's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they're portraying when they dismiss wisdom, and they dismiss not discipline. And so verse 8, my son, heed the discipline of your father. So, and it says, my son, heed the discipline of your father, and do not forsake the Torah of your mother. So it's basically, we pretty much supposed to listen to our parents. Listen to your parents. If it's positive, it's positivity, and there's a positive direction coming from those parents, that's, you can trust that these are trustworthy, instructions from your parents. You know what I mean? I get it. Not all parents, have the right, the right advice, or the right, the right instructions, or the right, the right thing to do. You might be told to do something you don't have any business doing, and that's going to cost you your freedom, or your life, or your, your health, or whatever. And that's something that you want to discern, and be able to discern, and be like, oh well, I don't think I'll be doing that. But y'all willing, for the most part, parents are supposed to provide those these instructions, Torah is instructions. So Torah is pretty much, when it says the Torah of your mother, pretty much the instruction, the advice of your parents. You know what I mean? The discipline of your father. Most fathers have that voice of discipline to be able to, keep you in line, keep a child in line, keep your son or your daughter in line. Even your niece or your nephews or grandkids. Like it's that the father usually provide that discipline, and the mother have that intuition, that Torah, to provide direction, to provide advice and the right way to go about things. You know what I mean? So like it tells you to pretty much honor your parents. It pretty much help you honor your parents. These words, verse 9: for they are a fair wreath on your neck. For they are a fair wreath on your head and chains about your neck. Pretty much those that discipline from your father and the Torah of your mother. You want to keep that top of mind, and you know what I mean, around your neck. Just basically you don't want to forget those words and those that advice, that instruction from your parents. A lot of us grow into young adults, or we've grown into young adults in our teenage years and think we know, now that we're hit puberty and we got something, we pretty much think we know something, and we now that we looking like adults, and we're able to we're able to operate a little older than we were. We start feeling ourselves to the point as if we are we don't need to listen to our parents, and we can be parents ourselves. But it's just it's a lot that we need to learn and take heed to from our parents, and keep them at top of mind. And not as difficult as it was, as difficult as it may be, that was the right way. That was what we should have done, is to listen to our parents, and you know what I mean, and not put their words and their instructions to the side, like most of us done. We should have kept them top of mind and around our necks. We're as though we wouldn't have got ourselves in some of the things that we got ourselves into. But verse 10, it says, my son, if sinners entice you, do not give in. If they say, in verse 11, if they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood, let us ambush the innocent without cause. This is pretty much what a parent, a positive parent would be explaining to you. You know what I mean? It's basically giving you a warning, giving you a heads up of what's out there. You know what I mean? This is a perfect, this is perfect advice, for how to deal with, sinners, how to deal with, the wrong kids or the wrong people. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start from top again. Verse 10, my son, if sinners entice you, do not give in. Verse 11, if they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood, let us ambush the innocent without cause. Verse 12, let us swallow them alive like Sheol, and entirely like those going down to the pit. Verse 13, let us find all precious goods. So this is pretty much, it's familiar. I mean, it just sounds familiar. This is like what we see today. We got kids especially in the urban community, that when you're growing up in a hood, or and you got you familiar with this. You got kids that's looking to get into something, looking to go rob something, looking to go break into somebody's house, break into somebody's car, take somebody's car. You know what I mean? End up shedding blood, in the process. You know what I'm saying? So this is familiar. Like, this is what we see today. But this is These are words that we should be heeding from our parents, and these is the words that our parents should be, relaying to us, to basically keep us from, going that route, going down that road. So it says, when it says, let us find all precious things, let us find all precious goods, let us fill our houses with spoil. That's pretty much, that's the lick. That's if you hitting the lick, and you breaking down the shares, you breaking down, what y'all got. And that's just, that's just not going to lead to anything but what it's going to lead to, which is this. It says, verse 14, casting your lot among us, let us all have one purse. So they're trying to convince. These are friends, and this is how these are how those those bad friends. When you were a kid, you got negative friends that are trying to convince you, like, come on, bro, like, come on, sis, like, we out, let's do this, we gonna get this money, you know what I mean? We like this, like you, and they'll try to make you feel bad and make you feel like you weak, and oh, you acting like a, you know what I mean, or you, man, you scared, they'll try to use those tactics to make you feel less than, and try to pressure you into coming with them. But you got to stand your ground. You got to stand on what was told to you through your parents, what was told to you, you know what I mean, to not, what not to do, and how to identify these people. So this is what they say. They'll try to convince you by saying in 14, casting your lot among us, let us all have one purse. In verse 15, my son, this is when the parent reminds him, my son, do not walk in the way with them. Keep your foot from their path. It's in verse 16, for their feet run to evil, and they hurry to shed blood. Verse 17, for in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. Verse 18, but they lie in wait for their own blood, they ambush their own lives. Verse 19, such are the ways of everyone greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owner. There you go. This is when the parent cuts in. From 15 to 19, the parent cuts in and pretty much reminds them, like, my son, do not walk on the way with them. Keep your foot from their path. Don't even go on their block. Don't even go on their street. Don't even go wherever they are, like, you know what I mean? Because if that's what they into, that's what they getting into, those are not friends that you want to have. Those are not friends that's not company that you want to keep. You want to stay far away from those people. You want to stay far away from those paths. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that you're going to find yourself, having to, pretty much deal with more than you need to. You know what I mean? Because pretty much the parent, the good parent is basically explaining in 16, for their feet run to evil. That's exactly what they do. These are people that run to evil. You know what I mean? And they hurry to shed blood. They bloodthirsty people. They, you know what I mean? This is the spirit that's on. This is the wicked spirit that's on them. That's running through them. You want to, stay away from those folks. You want to stay away from those young people. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I had heeded these words. I wish I had came across these words of Proverbs, then, knowing now, when I was a kid, and it would have saved me a lot, saved me, a lot of headache and a lot of, time that I've spent, in prison and basically, the relationships I've ruined, you know what I mean? And a lot of things that I missed out on, I wish I had heeded these words, the words of my parents and the words of, of Solomon, which is ultimately the inspirational words of the Most High. So basically, he's explaining, he's identifying these people, like, not to, try to stay away from, that we should try to stay away from, for their feet run to evil and they hurry to shed blood. Verse 17, for in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, but 18, but they lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush their own lives. This is what happens to them. You know what I mean? They killing themselves. They doing these things to themselves. Everything that anyone is plotting to do to somebody else, they're ultimately doing to themselves and don't even know it. In the end, that's where it's going to lead to. That's where it's going to end up in. It's going to end up, they're going to end up in prison. They're going to end up in the grave. They're going to end up, regretting what they've done. Yeah, they might be successful a couple times, you know what I mean? But, eventually it'll catch up with them. That person that they did it to probably catch them in traffic, catch them in the future, catch them in prison, catch them wherever down the line, and find out that they the ones that were responsible for this. And that can happen. It's going something may happen, something likely to happen to them. You know what I mean? Just like you may you may be just going there to rob or take, or steal something from somebody, and if you're coming with a weapon, who knows how things may end. And a lot of times people don't be looking to hurt nobody. They just be wanting to rob or they take, and then somebody ends up losing their lives. No matter what, whoever's there with them, even if you didn't pull the trigger, you're going to be liable for that. You're going to be held accountable. They call it conspiracy. You know what I mean? So you don't want to find yourself in a situation like that, as though you going down for something that somebody else, they got trigger happy or got shaky with the weapon, ended up doing something that cost them their lives and yours. So we have to keep that in mind. The kids, we have to share this, information and instill this in our kids, instill this in our youth, that these are the things, that these are the people to look out for. These are the people that they don't want to be. These are the people that they want to avoid. And these are the things that they want to avoid. We have to do better at that, because in verse 19, it says, such are the ways of everyone greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owners. So pretty much everyone that's greedy for gain, anyone that want the fast dollar, the fast money, the easy money, especially when it's unlawful, it's illegal. You know what I mean? It's stolen, or it's you know what I mean? It's obtained in the wrong way. These are it's going to lead to you losing your life. You know what I mean? You losing your freedom. You losing and losing your freedom, and is losing part of your life. You know what I mean? You could still, you don't have to get life to lose some of your life. You know what I mean? You may spending time in prison 5 years, 10 years, that's the time of your life you can't get back. Trust me, I know. I had to do time, and that's time that I wish I can have back. But these are the consequences of the decisions that I've made. You know what I mean? So yeah. So such are the ways of everyone greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owners. Verse 20, wisdom calls out loud. She raises her voice in the broad places. This is what explaining what wisdom does. This is where these inspirational words of the Most High is being relayed through Solomon, explaining what wisdom does. Verse 20 says, wisdom calls out loud outside. She raises her voice in the broad places. Verse 21, at the head of the noisy streets, she cries out. At the openings of the gates in the city, she speaks her words. Verse 22, how long, you simple ones, would you love simplicity? How long will our people love simplicity? How long? This is what they asking. This is what the words of wisdom, this is what the Most High is asking through Solomon. Like, how long will you love simplicity? Simple-minded people. and show scoffers delight in their scoffing. How long how long will argumentative people love argument? How long would violent people love to be violent? How long will y'all like fighting? You know what I mean? How long would you like just being a simple minded, being being a fool? It says, and fools hate knowledge. How long? It's basically, how long, you simple ones, would you love simplicity and show scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? How long will fools hate knowledge? How long will we hate knowledge? How long will we hate these words and these instructions and this advice and this direction? How long will we go on in this lifestyle? And you know what I mean? This chasing money, and like, instead of chasing, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, and sharing this with our generations on down, and sharing this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, these words on to our children. How long will we hate these words? How long will we hate these instructions? This is what he's asking. How long will fools hate knowledge? Verse 23, turn at my reproof. Basically saying, turn at my reproof. Turn at what I'm explaining now. Turn to it. Turn to me bringing this to your attention. Turn to it now. Stop it now. Repent, and turn to wisdom. Turn to knowledge. Turn to understanding. Turn to the right direction. Turn to the right instruction. Turn to the right way. This verse 23. Turn at my reproof. This is the correction. If what I'm explaining now, and I'm giving you the right route. You know what I mean? I'm giving you the right direction. You know what I mean? In the Most High, the Spirit, the Ruach is telling you, to turn to it, turn to correction, turn to reproof, turn to repent. See, I pour out my Spirit on you. I make my words known to you. Verse 24, because I called and you refuse. Don't be the one to refuse. Don't let it cost your life. Don't let it cost your freedom. Don't let it cost you down the line, by refusing to, take heed, by refusing to, heed correction. But those who do, this is what he says. Because I called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no one inclined. And you spurned all my counsel and would not yield to my reproof. Let me also laugh at your calamity. Mock, this is verse 26. Let me also laugh at your calamity. Mock when your dread comes. Verse 27, when your dread comes like a storm and your calamity comes like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. Verse 28, let them then call on me, but I answer not. Let them seek me, but not find me. Verse 29, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahuwah, the Most High. So he's saying he's going to laugh at you. He's going to laugh at you, and he's not going to answer you. You know what I mean? He's pretty less. He's going to laugh like, I told you. Didn't I tell you, or didn't I tell them? You know what I mean? That's exactly how it's going to be a reaction. Like, you know what I mean? Like I tried to tell them. Like, they ain't want to listen. They thought they had it all figured out. They thought they knew what they were doing, or they had something going on, and that's not going to be them. That's not going to happen to me. Oh, I got this, man. Whatever, old head or whatever. You know what I mean? Like knowledge person. You know what I mean? Whatever, wise person. They don't. They hated knowledge, and so I'ma laugh at them. And when they try to call out for me, just like it never fails. They get in jail or wherever you get into a situation. Please God, I ain't gonna do it again. You know what I mean? He's not going to answer. He's not going to answer because you were told you were genuine. And it's going to take. That's not going to change your situation around. You're going to have to show and prove that you really calling this time. but it's not going to change your situation. You're going to have to deal with those consequences because you were warned. You know what I mean? Trust me, I know. So like, let's not go through that. Let's not hate knowledge. Let's not be fools. Let's not be fools any longer than we have already. We can't afford it. And he's saying, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Most High. Choose the fear of the Most High. Choose the fear of the Most High, which we'll learn later on. Verse 30, they did not accept my counsel. Choose his counsel. Choose the Most High counsel. This is the counsel being relayed through King Solomon, being relayed through anyone that speaks on wisdom and speaks on knowledge and understanding. Therefore, let them eat. This is what they're saying if you don't. This is what he explains what happened. Therefore, verse 31, therefore let them eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own counsel. Verse 32, for the turning away of the simple kills them, and the complacency of fools destroys them. Verse 33, but whoever listens to me dwells safely and is at ease from the dread of evil. Come on, man. I'd rather be at ease from the dread of evil. You know what I mean? I'd rather be at ease and have no anxiety and looking over my shoulder and trying to figure out who coming for me and what's coming next. And you know what I mean? Because that's pretty much when you don't got the counsel of the Most High, you don't have the counsel of in the direction and the instructions. That's how you're going to be feeling. You're going to be anxious. You're going to be wondering like what's happening next. When, you know what I mean? I'm scared. That's where fear comes from. You know what I mean? Because and he's letting you eat your words. He's letting you eat the fruit of your own way. You know what I mean? And be filled with your own counsel. So you're going to be filled with the other fools telling you, it's blind leading the blind. He's going to let you listen to them people. He's going to let you listen to your kind. Let you listen and heed their counsel instead of, because you ignored his. You ignored his counsel. You ignored the counsel that you were supposed to heed to. And that's what see how that worked for you pretty much. You know what I'm saying? See how that worked for you. See how that worked out for you. But until next time, that's all I got for you, man. I appreciate your patience, and all glory be to the Most High, all praise to the Most High, Yahuwah. In the spirit and the salvation of Yahusha Hamashiach. This is let's not be fools, even though today is April Fools. Let's not be fools any longer. Let's no longer be April's fools. Let's be children of let's be children of the Most High. Let's heed his counsel. Let's heed his instruction. Let's heed our parents' instructions. You know what I mean? So we can share this to our children and their children, share it with their children, and so on and so on. It starts with us. Let it end the day. Let us not, let us put an end to it. Let the buck stop here. Love y'all. Shalom.